Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to the Believe Retreat Online. Today, we're talking about the power of the invite, the art and science of the invitation. Let's roll that introduction. And we're back. I'm
Hey,
Joanna. In the middle, you're going to
I'm
see
Heidi.
Heidi. Hi, Zalyn.
And I'm
Friends.
Francine.
Francine. Great to be here
How are you
with
guys
you,
doing today?
creative women.
I'm totally fired up today. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Okay, but that being said, maybe some of you aren't fired up and ready to go. So before we get started talking about the power of the invite, let's talk about the power of the mind shift into creativity. And we do that by staring at a picture. It's a fractal, which is like a design that you see in nature. And it kind of has this pattern to it. It has like these certain textures to it. And if you look at it long enough, you start to notice little details that you didn't notice before. But you've got to take a few minutes to just stop all of the crazy thoughts that may be going on in your mind right now and just focus on the picture, and that's it. And so we're going to do that for 2 minutes. And normally you would do this in your head, but to make this a little bit more exciting, we're going to talk this out loud. So this is like my boyfriend's worst nightmare right here, but it is a very interesting thing to look at. So let's take 2 minutes, take a deep breath. Breathe out. And as you breathe in, really start to focus on this image. What do you notice?
Not one of these compartments is exactly the same. The depth, the height, the way it captures the light, the edges, each one is a little bit different. So we can examine them one at a time, slow down and examine them.
Yeah, because at first glance, like when I'm looking at it, one of these at my house and I'm ready to spray it down with some law spray, I'm not looking at it this close, but like there's some that are longer than others and some are shorter, and then there's some that are kind of in the middle.
There's one all the way on the right hand side up front. It almost looks like it's occupied.
Ooh.
And there's different shades too. Like at the top of some of them, it's a really white rim. And then there's like this darker shade, but it's not consistent throughout. It's kind of variegated. All
When you
right.
put
So
them
that's been
together,
about,
it looks like a flower. We put five of them, six of them together, right? Seven,
oh
one in
no,
the
that I didn't
center and
notice
six.
until you said it.
Oh,
So that has been 2 minutes. And all we did there was interrupt the thought process. So now you can shift over to the other side of your brain, your more creative side, and we can have a really cool conversation now. And we're talking about the power of the invite. And this conversation was actually Joanna's idea. So, Joanna, I want you to start this conversation. Why is the invite so powerful?
I would say that in particular, it's the personal invitation. When you have an event, it's easy to just broadcast, send out a mass email, send out mass text, and social media posts, maybe even tagging people. But I like to take things the next step with a phone call or a text. I want someone to know I'm thinking about you because your presence at this event is going to make a difference. You're special, you're worthy, you deserve attention and recognition, and you're going to benefit by being in that room. I'm calling you because I know that when you come to this event, you're going to get something out of it, and you'll be glad that you made whatever effort it takes to come. So to me, that's the component with invitations. It's that um, the personal interest, the personal concern, and the personal benefits and value someone would get as an individual for coming.
Yeah, and that approach, I mean, when I get an invitation like that from someone, in order for me to even have received that message, or like even more old school, I know this doesn't happen all the time, but like you get like an actual card in the mail kind of type thing. When I get something like that, it is so rare in comparison to like, oh, you got a Facebook invite to this event. That was thoughtful that you saw me in the list and thought that maybe I would be interested in attending. But when you go out of your way, send me a message, send me an email, I know that you've thought of me and really do want me to be there. So I totally agree that, like, just if you want people to show up to your event, just relying on social media broadcast platforms to get people there is probably not the best way to go about it. Francine, what do you think about the power of the invite?
Well, if you don't ask, there's no way they're ever going to show up. And I know for a long time, I was afraid to ask, and it was completely and totally my imposter syndrome because I'm thinking, who wants to go to my event? So I would make these flyers and incognito go out in a parking lot and put all these flyers on windshield wipers, hoping that somebody would attend my event because I was afraid to personally invite people I knew because I didn't think I was worthy. So I was hoping that maybe some strangers would just show up and then tell me how great it was. So then I could say to my friends, hey, this was a great event. All these people liked it. You should show up. Well, how could I expect strangers to show up if I don't even think I'm worthy?
Yeah, that is a really great point. You know, sometimes I've heard people say, even with putting anything out there, why would people want to hear my story? Why would people want to come to my event? And when you're starting from that mindset, I mean, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You aren't going to use the power of the invite and invite people to come. And I know when I've viewed things from that perspective, it was to save myself, to protect myself from the disappointment of all of the people that were going to say no or not show
Mhm.
up, which is just kind of ridiculous when I look back at it. Because how else are people going to come unless I invite them?
Right. And you know what? I remember from my early days in network marketing, we were taught that you over invite. If you want 10 people to show up, you invite 100 people.
And I think The word no has become so scary in so many ways for one reason or another, and for each of us for different reasons. But if you can have a better relationship with the word no when you're inviting people, the more no's, the better, because it's always a numbers game.
Totally. And
And
I think that what's worse, there's something that's worse than no. I think it's no response at all. These days, when you reach out, it's so hard to get someone to reply to a text or an email or a phone call. And I appreciate it when someone tells me no, because they actually regarded me as enough, that they had a certain level of respect and courtesy and grace to let me know, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I can't make it," or something like that. So I don't, it's okay to get a no, because oftentimes it means not right now. There are so many different reasons a person is going to say no, but I'm going to invite you again if you say no this time, and I know why. I know because you were interested but genuinely couldn't make it, and we, look for other opportunities. So yeah, these days, don't be afraid of no. It's the ghosting part, and then you just keep going.
And
I'm going to
I'll,
say something else about the ghosting part. What I've realized is there are just so many different ways that you can communicate with people nowadays.
Yes.
So if I send someone an email, for example, and I don't get a reply back, then I might send a message on Facebook Messenger. And if I notice that they haven't really posted since their birthday, then I like might send them a text message. So um in order to use the power of the invite, you also have to realize that people's time is limited, and for everybody where they communicate is a little bit different, which does make inviting a little more complicated. But it is part of communication, is being able to find that place where you both can meet up and then talk.
well, and this brings to my mind also that you're looking for your tribe. When you invite to an event, you're looking for your tribe. I know I have invited people to an event, and you know what? That's just not for me. You go on and do you. And I would rather hear somebody say, that's not for me, and respect that, than to try to stop me from doing what I want to do. Because I would rather hear no than waste my time trying to cater to somebody who is clearly not the audience I'm looking for.
That's a good
Yes.
point.
Yeah. Because not everyone, is my tribe or your tribe or Joanna's tribe or the Believe tribe. And
Well,
that's okay.
when we were talking about planning events and you both said we ought to have a karaoke night, I said, time out. I don't do karaoke. I don't even like listening to karaoke. So no, you all enjoy.
But it's like it's being diverse. We have a variety of ways of reaching out to people to connect and
Yes.
to invite. And we host a variety of different events that will attract people with varied interests as well. You have something appealing. So
Right.
being creative, this is putting our creativity and our good ideas to work to engage people wherever they are so they can have a good time with us.
And that's the beauty of having a team and collaboration is we could divide and conquer also. I'm running a workshop for aspiring authors. Are you interested in becoming an author? Well, while I'm doing my workshop, y'all go have fun with your karaoke.
That's right. Divide and conquer.
That's the beauty of having a team.
Yes. And, with our particular retreat group, what I love about this is we all kind of have our creative niches. And even though there's like some overlap in some areas, like we kind of have our own specialty. And so, with that being said, um, we need some more specialties around here at the Believe Retreat because there's so much more that we could do. And, at the beginning of the year, we talked about our pivots and how we were going to do something bigger than what we initially imagined that we were going to create. And later on that week, some bigger than what we thought was going to happen, things happened. And I'm pretty excited because we're going to get to use, well, the power of the invite on a very broad scale right here. But when I'm personally sending my invitation, so earlier today, I created an email and I started making my list. I started going through and women business owners that are local to the Jacksonville area that I've had in mind because I've wanted to do collaborations with, that maybe we've talked about collaborations in the past. It just didn't work out at the time. I'm putting people like that on the list. People on the list that can contribute in ways that the three of us, we don't have those skills. Those like are not our specialties. We want to be able to showcase some other people, so I'm adding them to the list. And so when this email comes out, I am going to reference them to our episode today, so that they can learn a little bit more than what's on the website. So I'm going to share my screen and take you over to this is our web page. And Joanna or Francine, if you can put this page's link
Letting,
in the chat,
oh,
that would be awesome.
I just put the meetup invite in the chat. Now I will put our Believe community in the chat.
Okay. And this page is our landing page. And we're going to put all of our little pop-up events right at the top of our landing page so you can see that. So you can go to this page and get your tickets. This first event that we're doing is going to be featuring our very own Joanna Tress. You're going to get a small taste of what it's going to be like to see her perform the full performance at the in-person weekend Believe Retreat. But this particular event is on January 31st, and it's going to be at the Asbury Art Studio in Green Cove Springs. I will be your host. Francine is going to share some stuff with us at this event. And then we will unveil Joanna and her most amazing singing voice. How is that for an introduction, Joanna?
Thank you for that. And what I'm excited about is that this is original music from a musical theater production. And I like the variety of genres. So you're going to hear pop, jazz, disco, even some hip hop flavors. And that's what I like. I like to share something that's fresh and new. I know you haven't heard it before. So enjoy it with us because that's really the Believe Retreat. It's about imagination, creativity, artistic expression, in particular for women, but everyone is invited to the show. You can bring the whole family. So that's what I like. You can't guess or predict what's going to happen there or what you're going to see or feel or hear. So you just have to come.
Awesome. And that starts at 7 o'clock. Is that right? I can't
Seven
see through
o'clock.
this.
Networking, and the show starts at 7:30.
All right. And you can find out more about joining the Believe team there. Now, I'm also going to mention that if you're available during the day on the 31st, like at 8 o'clock in the morning, you can come over to Haven Hospice on Blanding Boulevard over in Orange Park and come to Finally Friday, do some networking with some local businesses. And after that meeting, we're going to be talking a little bit more about what I'm going to talk to you about next.
Wait, we
So
have
if
one
you're
more
not
thing
really
to talk.
sure,
We have one more thing to talk about first.
oh,
Isn't there
okay.
going isn't there going to be a special drawing for a gift card at the event?
Mm,
But you
yeah.
have to show up to be eligible for the door prize.
That's why there's three of us, because one of us will always remember the things that were forgotten.
Thank you.
That one was an important one. I'm sorry.
Hey, you can
Yeah,
buy it. You can buy a little dinner with that with 25 bucks, you know?
that's right. That's right. So if Joanna was not enough reason to come, you also can win $25 just for coming. So it is pretty awesome. So, like I was saying about the morning, you could come in the morning and come check out what we're doing. And let me scroll down this page. I would like to officially announce all of you out there to a women's weekend where you can escape with your creative friends for a weekend to tap into your inner child energy, enter a maker space for you to define your life the way that you want it to be and discover the tools to make it real, just like you do with art, right? You imagine it in your mind what it is that you want to create, and then somehow you go to the craft store or you sit down and you start writing and you put together all of the pieces until finally that image becomes real. So this weekend is a dose of creative playtime, which is all that you need to begin to see how you have the power to create whatever experience you want in life. So when you come to our homepage, you find this, you click on join us. It's going to take you to all the information about the upcoming Believe Retreat, which is now September 13th through the 15th. And we also kind of changed up the way that our packages are. So when you buy a ticket, you will automatically be enrolled to be a hostess. So first you buy your ticket, then you get your hostess invite link. You invite your girlfriends. And every girlfriend that signs up, you're going to collect 15% of those tickets sold. So you can either decide to do something extra special for those girlfriends, or maybe you're going to put the money aside for, I don't know, a little extra shopping or something like that. But this is an opportunity for you to earn as you plan a girls' weekends to get away. And you'll be able to have a blast with your friends, with us at this retreat, and earn a little money. Now, the second option is to help us with this retreat and join our Believe team. Um, but I'm going to jump around to a different page here, to the join our team page, because this is the part where I talk about how this has become so much bigger than it initially. We are able to partner with a project called Utopia Festival. And Utopia Festival is teaching 16 to 24-year-olds what it takes to put on an event, plan the event, produce the event. And then not only that, like, what about the technical production, the lighting, the video, the sound, all of those different elements that go into certain events. And so Utopia is going to be using our events as this workforce development project. So we're looking for local people that can help with mentoring and teaching the youth. And we're also looking for um, other people that can help the Believe Retreat create some content. And this is beneficial for you because you'll be able to use that on your business pages. You don't have to create your own content all by yourself because that's no fun. That's part of the reason why the three of us are here, because it's way more fun to make stuff together. And so you can get all of that information about our team by attending Finally Friday on the 31st of January, attending our live event with Joanna in the evening on the 31st, or you can just visit the website. There's a link there. You can book an appointment with us. And I guess that's all I have to say about that. What do you guys think?
I'm just looking forward to see, who is we're going to attract to us people who are looking for an experience. I call it a five-dimensional experience where you can show up somewhere and have all of your senses stimulated and let your imagination build a bridge to those higher faculties to have something that's so different from the mundane. We grown-ups are conditioned. We're working, working, paying the bills, and we have blinders on in life. Maybe we have a vacation, maybe we have a little outlet here. But how about come and just stretch those muscles, and it makes you feel young, vibrant, brilliant inside. And that's it's just a transcendent experience. And it's like sometimes she's like, "Do we have to pull your teeth?" Come on, unplug from this ordinary life. You know how most people are living in a state of quiet desperation? Don't be that way. That scarcity mindset where you just want to survive. I got to survive. How about thrive? Okay. Go beyond surviving. Come with us. I just want people to understand that.
You
And we're
know
just
what
going to
we
get the
didn't
word out. And I'm glad we're going to work with the youth from Etopia. And I'm happy to just have whatever little ambassadors we can.
And you know what we forgot to mention? We forgot to
What?
mention it's only $10 to come and see this wonderful event.
That's true.
Yes. And we're going to be doing more of these little pop up events. So definitely you are going to want to hang out in our community because we continue conversations like this throughout the week. 30 minutes is not really enough time to really have an in depth conversation, and not everybody can get together at the same time. So, our online community is a great space for other creatives to connect online, away from all of the 900,000 distractions that you find on the social media platforms. So, oh, sorry. I'm just reading some comments here.
Oops, didn't mean distraction.
Yes,
Oh,
tweet distraction. It never happens.
No,
Never.
no. Oh, there's a squirrel.
Um, exactly. Um, so definitely visit our community. We will post our events in there. You'll get reminders that they're coming up. You'll get notifications that things are coming up, so that you know to to come. The power of the invite, right?
Can I say one more thing too? Please, everybody who might be listening right now, follow us on Facebook because I am constantly talking about where we're going to be and what we're going to do and how you can get involved. If you follow me on Facebook, well, you'll get a lot of great information and you'll really be helping me out. And I'd appreciate it so much because as a Facebook creator, I'm almost to the level of followers for my next big woohoo. So
Yay.
I'm hoping next Tuesday to announce that I've reached my milestone. And if you're listening and you have some kind of a milestone, join our community because we can all follow each other and help boost our creative flow in other platforms.
Just like we were talking about earlier, that we all kind of have like our little specialties, follow Joanna too. Joanna's doing something different on her pages. Follow my pages. I'm doing something different. I work with music industry professionals, which, speaking of which, I do have an online networking event coming up next Monday. So I'll put that page in the chat. So if you guys want to come, and meet some other music industry professionals and talk. I've got that coming up. And if the music industry is something that you're interested in, follow my page. That's what we're doing over here. So you get some diversity. And that's another reason to join the communities because there's going to be other women that come in on the team. And you might have similar interests to them. So you'll be able to connect with them and join their communities.
I love that cross pollination, and we're going to have an awesome field of wildflowers.
Well, I just want to say I'm totally excited to have Francine on the team because ever since I met you, I've met so many authors. It's crazy. And so then I find out that you can help with the publishing too. And it's just like, are you kidding me? Like, oh, this is so wonderful. So you came into my life right at the right time as I was meeting a bunch of people that need some of your assistance. So how lucky was that?
Well, maybe we should do an episode about how I could help. I have a workshop for aspiring authors coming up in April.
I think that would be a great idea for a future episode because, I mean, I personally think that everyone should write a book. There is something that that you could pass on to the rest of us. Put it in writing and let us see what you have to say.
Because you know what? I'm at the point now where I'm thinking about all my relatives who are gone and I wish they wrote a book. So think about that. Do you want to leave a legacy? Do you have something special to share with the world? Everybody does. And if
That's so
you
true.
and if you don't think you do, then you need to watch our episode on imposter syndrome coming up soon.
Yeah, we were just talking earlier today about all of the themes that we're going to have coming up. February sounds like it's going to be very interesting. So, keep an eye out, subscribe, and follow on our YouTube channel so you get the notifications whenever we go live. And speaking about cool topics that we're talking about, next week we're going to be talking about how to use community for opportunity.
That's great. Can't
You want to
wait.
take us out, Joanna?
Yes. Remember, if you can conceive it, you can believe it, and therefore achieve it. So, starting with your head,
To your heart,
To your hands.
yes,
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 you
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 can.
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 Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We'll see all of you back here next week.